Welcome to the Pennsylvania Department of Education's Office for Safe Schools Climate Survey webinar. Over the course of the next 30 minutes, we will lead you through the importance of what school climate surveys reveal relative not only to improving student progress, but also to complementing overall school improvement, program effectiveness, as well as staff job satisfaction, retention, parent satisfaction, and involvement, and overall community support. I am Joe Locasena from the Office for Safe Schools. You will also hear from Pamela Emery from the Office for Safe Schools and Jay Wasser, our technical advisor and support for this project. You will also learn about perceptions, how they determine the tone or emotional quality of the school environment, and how perceptions of staff, students, parents, and the larger community influence and are influenced by the way a school does things on a daily basis. And it has been said that a culture, a way of doing things driven by values, practices, and beliefs, is more difficult to change than are the perceptions of the people within the organization. But when and if perceptions change, the window of opportunity for change opens. We can think of this quality or character of the organization, in this case the school, as the sum total, a total of the attitudes and behaviors in that particular organization. These attitudes and behaviors can be elicited by school policies, procedures, practices, and even the physical environment itself. Also, staff interactions with peers and with students are factors making up the climate of a school and the district itself. How students experience their own opportunities to become engaged in the classroom and in leadership and extracurricular activities are important factors, as well as the beliefs and attitudes students bring to the schools from their families, social circles, and larger community. It has been said many times over that changing what people are comfortably used to doing on a day-in, day-out basis over a long period of time is extremely difficult, if not impossible, especially if everyone else around them is comfortably doing the same within that particular institution, and schools are no different. This said, one sees how comfortable habits or collective ways of doing things shape a school culture. And as stated earlier, for an institution to even begin objectively assessing the effectiveness of what it says it does, it must get feedback from the people who are a part of it. This difference then between what a school district's policies, programs, and procedures say what is supposed to exist versus how staff, students, parents, and community perceive how things really are or operate has been referred to as the reality gap. The School Climate Survey, used on a yearly basis, then provides the vehicle for measuring the perceptions of all four constituencies to use within its overall improvement plans. How and to what extent perceptions change over time and are remeasured, then results analyzed and goals and approaches revised, determine how a school district will be able to close the reality gap. Perceptions were mentioned earlier on. How a person acts or behaves depends in large part on the experiences he or she had within a given day, a week, and much longer, even over a lifetime. Interestingly, another person might have the same experiences but act or react differently because of how differently he or she perceived those experiences or situations. Maybe the person gained a sense of recognition from the experience. Maybe another didn't. Maybe one person felt a bit overwhelmed or threatened with the same situation in the same place where another felt comfortable and safe. School climate surveys, whether student, staff, parent, or community, in a sense, are really satisfaction surveys. The degree to which the human needs of safety, having a voice, being recognized and valued, feeling a part of the group or organization, etc., are met, determines how one perceives reality. it is real for him or her. The results of a recent study, 21 urban high schools in California by John Schindler, confirmed a strong relationship between the quality of school climate and academic achievement levels. Although impractical here to enumerate all the stated practical implications of this study, it's important to note a few. Number one, quote, if we do not make fundamental changes to what we are doing, why would we assume that we will get substantially different results from what we have to date? Number two, it appears that starting with a clear sense of the health and function level of the school is necessary to accurately diagnose what is and is not working. And three, consistent with previous research, the findings of this study suggest that all areas of school performance are interdependent. Therefore, every neglected or dysfunctional area of school performance is dragging down the larger effort to promote school achievement, unquote. Related to what was pointed out earlier, students are more ready to function optimally and focus in the classroom when they feel both psychologically and physically safe, valued and respected for their ideas and opinions, and connected to the school. And it goes without saying that such human needs apply universally, so with students perceiving these needs met and focusing better in the classrooms, the teachers are better able to facilitate learning. And now you will hear from Dr. Pamela Emery.
Achievement is not only measured by hard data such as classwork, quizzes, and tests, it is also affected by how the student experiences and or perceives the school environment and all of the people in it. Regularly utilizing the student versions of the school climate survey for the purpose of measuring and moving perceptions in a more positive direction also has large benefits for all stakeholders, school staff, parents, community, and students. Think back again to the relationship between the quality of school climate and academic achievement levels on slide 6. Just as measuring and utilizing the perceptions of students on a regular basis to effectively implement improvements in what a school or district is already doing, giving attention to the collective attitude of the teaching staff is just as critical. Here is an interesting thought to consider. For 180 days out of the school year, students go to school. For the adult staff, they go to work. The school is their workplace. It is important to stress that by measuring school climate, the workplace climate is also being measured. Teacher job satisfaction directly affects student engagement, learning, and functioning. Often, educators have been heard to say, if we didn't have classroom distractions or problems, we could actually teach. Such words continually give credence to the idea that if both the adults and the students in the classroom perceive their needs as measured in the school climate survey are satisfactorily met, then both groups will function at their very best, and over time, this will affect and be reflected in the attitudes of the parents and larger community, the latter two having their own respective versions of the school climate surveys as well. The studies listed here are a brief representation of available studies demonstrating the relationship of a positive school climate to student achievement. The resources listed here are just a few of the many that support the importance of a positive school climate. These and other pertinent resources will be listed on the PDE Office for Safe Schools website for your use. The PDE Office for Safe Schools surveys were developed by the American Institute for Research and the Alaska Department of Education. 3 levels of student surveys are available, as well as a staff survey, parent survey, and community survey. Each survey is also available in Common Spanish and are available in a print version. There are 4 domains that the school climate surveys measure. We stress again that the School Climate Survey of the staff, students, parents, and community members measures how each individual person within their respective group feels or perceives based upon their own experiences in or with the schools, or combined with what they have heard from the experiences of others. As noted earlier, the surveys are available in both English and Common Spanish. They can be printed. There is a bank of additional questions that can be used to customize the surveys to the needs of the school entity. Results of the survey are in real time. Drill down capability is available to better meet the needs of the school entity for use in short and long-term planning. The surveys are housed on a secure website and are the sole property of the school entity. There are no survey windows. The surveys are available to school entities whenever they need them. It is the decision of the schools as to which surveys will be administered. We discussed earlier that the school climate surveys reflect the perceptions of the school climate by the school entity stakeholder groups. We have provided the surveys to support schools with short and long-term planning. They're designed to indicate areas of strength and areas of need within the 4 domains. Next, our technical support person, Jay Wasser, will provide information on how to access and administer surveys.
Good morning. My name is Jay Wasser. I am the developer and technical support person associated with this project. Today, I will demonstrate the site's functionality and show you many of the features and reports now available to you. The top right-hand corner of the screen is where you, as an LEA administrator, will log on to the site. If you do not have your credentials, please contact me by way of the contact menu item right here, or by way of the information listed on the final slide of this presentation. Before we log into the site, I would like to explain the invitation code used for the survey respondents. Each of the 6 types of surveys that was mentioned previously can utilize or will contain their own unique invite code. This code will be displayed on the Manage All Surveys, which I will show to you momentarily. And it is created after you have completed all steps when adding a new survey to the site. Here is a path at which a survey respondent will follow when answering one of the issued surveys. They will simply click here and enter a provided invitation code. I seem to be experiencing a problem with the keyboard. It does not seem to be typing. Well, we will skip that particular portion. Basically, you would enter the invite code here, click Apply, and it will take you directly to the form that is needed. I will now log into the site. Russ, if you could assist me with typing in a username, it will be 9 9s. Thank you. And the password actually is the word password, all lowercase. You as the LEA administrator are in full control of the data that you present and the surveys that are given. Initially, we will go to the Survey Printable tab in order to show you the various surveys. These surveys, as had been mentioned previously, are available in English and Spanish. Items 1 through 6 are basically considered the core questions. These particular sets of questions are initially what is provided to all users when they take a survey, but you also have the ability to add and append additional questions, and those you can review from items 7 through 12. You simply just click the download arrow, and it will be presented to you via PDF. Next, we will go to the LEA Administration tab. This is your main action area. From this tab, you can add, edit, delete, and copy surveys. I'll step you through the available actions now. We can add a survey to the site. Simply just choose the type of survey you wish. Choose a time frame. Now, this does have some checks and balances. You can only have one active survey per time period, as listed here, so we will choose a different time period. It appears as though this is a demo account that multiple people are utilizing, so they probably have added multiple surveys there. I'm going to try a parent guardian. Okay. This is the section where you're able to append additional questions by categories. The following categories are available to you: drug and alcohol, violence, bullying, climate, and truancy. You can simply select a particular question you wish to append to the bottom of the bank questions. Choose to slide it to this particular category column. We'll select a different type. Append that one. And you're also able to sort these add-on questions at the bottom of your survey. Finally, you would click Finish, and that survey would be added to your list here. Some of the filtering options available to you is to show or hide closed surveys past their point of collection. You can filter by survey types, and you can also filter by the particular year that the survey was collected within. After you've added the initial survey set, let's say you go with all 6, and you've edited them and added additional questions, rather than adding a new one each time, it would be much better for you to copy the survey. That function will maintain all those additional question sets that you have already added from the initial ad, give you a standard baseline. You would just simply set the new time frame. Oh yeah, this particular group, the 3 to 5, was closed out. So I will copy a parent guardian, set the new time frame. As you can see, if you had added additional questions, they would already be listed for you there. And simply finish. I had mentioned previously an invite code. After the survey has been added, you can see the invite code listed here. This is what you would distribute to the particular group, be it students, staff, or parent, guardian, or community. You can either just simply pass out this code, or you can utilize another feature that we have for you called Generate Brochure. This is a printable page that includes that unique invite code. You can also copy and paste from this window and put it into a Word document and manipulate manipulate it and formulate it however you see fit. You can also edit various surveys, delete those surveys. Next up would be the export feature. This feature exports all of those additional questions that you've appended to a particular survey. It basically downloads in a CSV format, and it is the raw data that you can analyze totally on your own. There's nothing that we do with that data, as it's not part of the core questions. Finally, our next function is the view report. This is that real-time drill down report that was mentioned previously. I'm going to pull up the staff climate from our piloting time frame, which was 12/1 to 2/28. It does include data that will make it a little more interesting. The various levels available to you are statewide, county, district, and then finally individual school. We'll review the statewide for this presentation. When you generate a report, it includes all data from a matching time frame statewide in this case. You can print this report, and now I will show you just a quick review of how the reports look themselves. Pay particular note to this particular group, A through F, as we have some graphs built upon that to expand the display here. This would relate to that A to F here. And similarly, we do that for all those particular groups. And finally, on the bottom of this report, it was mentioned previously that we had utilized air-developed domains. Well, what we have done is included all those domains here from the various surveys to really kind of pull things together to give you I guess, a top-level view of how that particular reporting period compared across the entities. Okay, our next section that we'll discuss is the managed classroom or paper-based entry accounts. In the event that your district needs to collect surveys of those users that cannot access a computer outside of school, this is ideally for grades 3 to 5. This particular setup will support multiple computer sessions, and it'll be an unlimited entry of all open surveys that you have created. You, as the LEA administrator, are in full control over these sub-accounts you create. Some of the functions available to you from this particular setup is manage existing users, basically. You can change the passwords. So let's say you have 3 sessions going in a particular district. You want to handle all of your students. You can set up a computer lab and just put sticky notes across the board telling users to utilize the test username that is right here, set up an initial password. After that session, you can reset the password so that these end users don't take that username and password and access it outside of school. Reset it to a new one, run a new session, and you could conceivably collect all of your surveys in this format. In the event that this particular test account gets locked out from bad login attempts, you can simply unlock here. You can add additional users, and that particular set of information is pretty small. You just define a username. The email address is not checked, so you can pretty much punch anything in there. The password confirm, a security question and answer combo, finally a default language, and finally you would create that particular new user. You also have the ability to delete users. And finally, you can log in as a user. That would show you specifically what the classroom account would see. Basically, you would drop out your LEA administration and survey printable, and you would see a new tab here named Climate Surveys. Click that, and it brings up an entry similar to this screen with a click to access the survey. We hope to put together a FAQ from the site based on your feedback from this presentation and your initial view from utilizing the site, and hope to integrate all of your questions into this FAQ. Thank you for your time. I will be passing the control back to Pamela now for the remainder of the presentation.
School climate can be changed. The best way to review the school climate data is to create a plan based on the data from the school climate surveys. A thorough analysis of both aggregate and disaggregate data should be conducted. In order for the school climate survey data to be considered as a part of short and long-term planning, it's best to re-administer the survey at least annually. Schools need to develop an action plan regarding how they will examine and interpret the data and share the results of the data that is collected through the surveys with all stakeholders. It is recommended that a data team be established for these tasks. The team should be representative of all stakeholders. Both general data and specific data should be reviewed. The survey tools will allow users to develop graphs and other pictorial representations of their data. In the action plan, key people need to be identified as those responsible to initiate, implement, and monitor each intervention. End dates should be established, and the team should be reconvened to reveal goal progress for each goal. When the collected data has been analyzed, those goals for areas of need should be established, as noted earlier. In a case where there are multiple areas of need, the area should be prioritized from the greatest to the least, with the areas of greatest need targeted first. Only 2 or 3 goals should be set. Goals should be able to be measured. For example, if an area of need is low student support, providing a means to better support students, such as establishing a student tutoring model, may be established as a goal. In this goal, the number of students who are being tutored, their baseline grades, and their end grade after tutoring, perhaps a semester, should be measured. The survey should be re-administered, and the new data should be reviewed against the original data to determine the effectiveness of the intervention. If the intervention doesn't work, change or modify the intervention, but do not change the goal.
Thank you for joining the webinar today. This webinar will be archived and available on the Office for Safe Schools website. Should you have additional questions, please feel free to contact us. Thank you.